Okay, so
Hi,
guys,
morning.
so this is session number 10 from the series, and believe it or not, we've only got like another 4 more days to go. So getting a little bit of movement going, the breath work, and then adding in that little bit of detox. So something that we haven't included in the series yet, and it's not going to directly affect me, but for anybody that is a smoker that's joining in the series, I'm going to make a suggestion that you cut back on smoking, just like we did with any of the tea, coffee, alcohol, sugar. Cut back to about half of what you might normally have, just to see how your body responds. And then for everyone, smokers and non-smokers, what I want you to try and do outside of this class is 5 minutes twice a day, so 10 minutes total, of doing some conscious breathing. So literally you can sit on your couch, you can sit up in bed, you can lie down. Quite frankly, most people don't meditate when they lie down because we kind of go to sleep. So that's sitting in a comfortable position and just closing your eyes and practicing the breath work that we've been incorporating into our class. So just full inhale and then a slightly lengthened exhale, because that's going to tap into that rest and digest response of the nervous system. So it allows everything to calm down. And then if you find that you're getting very distracted, do that counting cycle from 1 to 10 and then back to 1, because that gives you something to focus on. So the nice thing is, if you are a smoker and you're feeling the urge to kind of like have a cigarette, you know, that maybe just sit there and do 1 conscious breath cycle to 10, just to kind of notice like what is coming up for you, what is the stress that's coming up. And then look, I can't really talk because I'm not a smoker. If you're desperate then to have a cigarette, you can have a cigarette, but you give yourself that pause, you give yourself just that little bit of a moment to notice what's going on with yourself and those responses of your body and the responses of your energy as well. So that's what we're going to focus on for today. All right. So what we're going to do is a little bit of a focus. It's going to be a little bit of a stronger session today with a focus around the pelvis and the core, because that really is our center. So anytime we're moving or transitioning, all that power is coming from our center. So we want to make sure that we've got a nice, strong connection to the center. And one of the reasons I want to do it today as well is because I was so aware when we did our session yesterday that, wow, we go into the pelvic curl and I could really feel my gluteals working, and I realized I haven't done anything sort of like pelvis core focused for a couple of days. So that's what we're going to do today. All right. Everybody keen? Ready to jump in?
Ready to go.
Fantastic. So you don't need any props other than having something. So I'm going to use a foam block, but you can take a pillow off the couch or you can take a folded towel, and we're going to need that at certain points to put between our knees to activate the inner thighs. So just have a little bit of a prop ready for yourself to use as well as we go through the class. Okay, I'm going to mute the background noise, and then we're going to have a chat and a catch up after the session. All right, guys, enjoy. So we're going to be starting in a standing position. You won't need your block quite yet. So stand towards the back end of your mat. Take a look down at your feet and double check that your big toes are in line with each other. Just lift your chin so you're looking forward to the horizon. Roll your shoulders back and around a few times. And then just let your arms relax beside you. And let's do just a few bending and straightening of the knees. So as you bend and straighten the knees, you want to keep your heels firmly connected to the ground. So don't let your heels pop up. And see if you can keep your knees tracking straight forward in line with your second toe. So you're not letting your knees collapse into each other. And we're just going to take 2 more. And one more time. And releasing up. Take a deep breath in, reaching arms all the way up. And then exhale, arms all the way down again. Once again, just roll your shoulders back and around. And then we're just going to pause here for a moment. I want you to place your right hand just over the center of your heart space. Place your left hand just above your pubic bone, so just on your lower belly. And then allow your eyes to close for a moment. And start to become aware of your breath. And feeling your belly and your chest rise and lower with each inhale and with each exhale. Allowing your breath to slow down slightly. Softening around your eyes, your forehead, your jaw. And take a moment to notice your heartbeat under your right hand. Bring your awareness to the soles of your feet. Maybe wiggle your toes around, shifting your body weight gently. And as your feet root you, allow the crown of your head to float upwards towards the clouds. Just allow your body to suspend in space. And then once again, bring your awareness back to each inhale and each exhale. Becoming aware of the connections between your physical body, your energy, and your breath. Taking one more deep breath in. Open your mouth on the side. Blink your eyes open, letting your hands come all the way down. Taking one more deep breath in, reaching arms all the way up. And then exhale, open your arms nice and wide. We're going to look towards the feet. And let's start rolling forward through your spine. Just find the weight of your arms, find the weight of your crown. Soften your knees slightly. And just let yourself drape all the way over without forcing. And then just once again, shift your body weight slightly on your feet. Maybe just rock the move forwards and backwards. And then find a connection to your center, standing evenly on your feet. And rolling back into standing. Use your abdominals, coming all the way up and lifting nice and tall. You're going to bend your knees, take a deep seat, and reach your arms all the way forward. And then coming all the way up, pressing your arms down. And again. Coming into a deep seat. So you're reaching your hips back. Arms counterbalance by coming forward. And then pressing it all the way up. Beautiful. Watch as you bend your knees, that you're keeping the knees trapped of your body. Taking 2 more, bending your knees, counterbalance the arms, remember abs have to work, guys, and pressing all the way up. And let's take 1 more time, bending the knees, reach forward. Now we're going to stay here for a moment. Start to move your body weight a little bit forward towards your toes. Notice how the quadriceps switch on. And then if you shift your body weight a little bit back to the heels, notice how the gluteals switch on. Let's do 2 more. Coming forward and coming backwards. Use your abs, guys. Don't let your lower back take strain. 1 more time. A little bit forwards and a little bit backwards. And then say to yourself and coming all the way up again. Stay here. Both arms reach up. Inhale. Expanding through the sides of the ribs and lungs. And exhale. Open your arms. Nod your chin. And let's just roll through the spine. And just notice that opening across the back of your ribs, your lungs. Letting the scapula glide nice and wide. Stay here just for a moment. Take a breath in. And then breathe out and up you come. Rolling all the way up. And then just focusing your eye line. Rolling your shoulders back. I'm going to turn to face you so you can see what we're going to do. Taking your hands and placing them on the shelf of your hip. Move your body weight to your right leg. So I'm doing a mirror image of you. And bringing that left toe forward. Now keep your tippy toe on the ground. Put your right hand on the side of your hip, that little gluteus medius muscle. And then let your hip just move a little to the side. And draw the hip back in again. And again, let your hip move a little bit to the side. And draw back in. So this movement is controlled. It's never a dropping of the hip. As your hip goes to the side, we're lengthening the muscle with control. And as the hip comes in, the muscle shortens with control. So it's eccentric work of the muscle, and then concentric work of the muscle. And this is really, really functional training for those bum muscles. Some of you have done this with me before. Let's do 1 more time. Let your hip go a little to the side, and then bring it back in. Now hold it there. Keep monitoring that there's that lovely dimple on the side of your right bum. Now, can you pick up the left leg? It doesn't have to be a big lift. Bending the knee, balance, and then reach your tippy toe down again. Roll a little taller through your crown. And again, balance. If you need to put your hand on a wall or hold it onto a chair, please do so. We don't need anything falling down. Let's do 2 more. A little bit of a lift. So we're just getting that right leg to weight bear. 1 more time. Picking that leg up. Now, stay here. If you need to put your foot down, please do so. Let your hip go out to the side again. And then pull back in. And again, letting your hip move a little to the side. And pull back in. We're going to do 3 more. Hang in there. Remember the control of your movement, so you're not dropping into it, right? Keep your balance. Last one. Holy smokes, I'm feeling this. I hope you guys are as well. Bring it in, now hold it. Put your hand there to monitor and reach your tippy toes to the floor again. Connect your center, grow taller, and we take that left leg from 12 o'clock to 11 o'clock. We go 11 and 12 and 11 and 12. 2 more, 11 and 12. Make it work. 11 and 12. Bring your foot in and just release your hips a little bit. So hopefully you guys can feel the gluteus medius on the right side kicking in. So, lucky for us, we have another bottom cheek. Bring your body weight to your left leg, and then stretch your right toes forward, and that's going to help you balance. And then your left hand goes onto the side of your pelvis, the side of your hip. And we just start a little bit of a movement out to the side, and then back in again. Remember to keep the abdominals gently engaged, but for a lot of people that have an unstable lower back or sacroiliac joint, you might find that you've really got to keep this movement small. So please don't go big if it doesn't feel okay for you. Okay? Listen to what your body needs. Eccentric work as we let the hip go out. Concentric work as the hip in. And we're going to do 2 more. And we're going to do 1 more. Pull your hip in and now hold it there. So now we're going to test balance. Bend the right knee, just pick it up. And then extend your leg out again. And again. Bringing that knee up. Core connection, grow tall. And stretch. And by the way, it helps if you focus your eye line as well. If you have a focal point, it helps you balance. And we're going to do just 1 more time. Keep the left glute heel working. Now hold it there. You let your hip go a little to the left. And you pull back and underneath you. And again, as you let your pelvis shift towards the side, see if you can keep your shoulders and your head nice and centered. And pull. And we're going to take 3 more. Hang in there. Take a break if you need to. Put your foot on the floor if you need to. Last one. Taking that leg just a little to the side. Tippy toe forward. You're going to go from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. And we go 1 and 12. Grow a little taller. 1. Make it work here. And 12. And we go 1 and 12. Last time. 1 and 12. Bringing your foot in and just allowing your pelvis to release. I'm going to turn sideways again. So double check that you've got your big toes level. Taking both arms 1 more time. Inhale, reach. And exhale. Nod your chin. And let's go into our 3rd and final roll down. Just let the weight of your arms, the weight of your head, the curve of your spine carry you forward. And then bend your knees, walk your hands all the way down. And then just coming onto all 4s for a moment. Getting your wrists in a comfortable position. Roll the shoulders back, nice long spine. And let's move into a cat stretch. Start by tucking your tail, rolling through each vertebra as you let that wave travel along your spine, and then reaching the tail out, gentle extension of the spine, lifting of the heart, lifting of your eye line, and again, using your breath. Remember to make this as big or as small as you need. Working your way gently towards extension. And we're going to take 1 more time, rounding through the spine. Lengthening through the tail, think about creating as much space as you can. And then coming just back to the center and hold it. Tuck your toes under. And all we're going to do is move our hips back as much as possible so we feel a bit of a stretch on the underside of the feet, and then releasing and coming forward. And again, as you press back, keeping the toes tucked under. If you're tight around the knees, you might feel a stretch there as well. And release, and we're going to do one more time, releasing the plantar fascia of the feet. And coming all the way forward, reaching the feet all the way back, sliding your right leg back, holding it there, keeping the pelvis level. You pick up the right leg, and you lower the foot down again. And again, pick up the leg, lower abs need to connect, and release. And we're going to do 3 more. So there's a connection here between the lower abdominals and the gluteus maximus. They need to work together in order to stabilize the pelvis and the lumbar spine. So this is where a lot of us are kind of weak. We lack our connections. And lower and sliding that knee all the way in. Extending the left leg back. Take a moment to just set up your alignment. And again, lifting your leg and lower. So as you lift your leg, the lower abs need to connect. And as you lower your leg, just allow almost a soft hinging at the hip so that you're still able to stabilize the pelvis and the lumbar spine. So it's not about tucking the pelvis under. Last 2. Energy through the crown of your head. Last 1. And release, bringing your foot all the way in. Stay here for a moment. Round your spine into a cat stretch. Bringing your hips back halfway. Just enough that you can take the pressure off your wrists. And then push up onto the tips of your fingers. So you're taking all the weight off your hands, the palms of your hands, the heels of your hands. Just getting that stretch along the side of your body, those lateral lines. Take another breath in, and then exhale, placing your hands down, and coming all the way forward, and lengthening through the spine. Now remember that little prop that we had handy. So I'm using the blue block. Put it between your thighs, between your knees, so that you can hold onto it with your inner thighs, and then tuck your toes under. And we're going to hover our knees off the ground from here. So on your breath, press into the hands and feet, and hold. We're staying here for 15 seconds. Reaching forward through the crown of your head and out to your tail, holding firmly onto the prop. Getting those inner thighs to wake up gently. Staying for just a few more breaths in and out. And then gently releasing your knees down. Release your feet back and just remove that prop for a moment. Reaching your left arm out to the side. Coming into a little bit of a thread the needle. Just an opportunity to actually take the pressure off your wrist. So today I feel almost like I need to place my hand into my lower back. If you want to stretch your arm out or just leave your hand where it is, that's absolutely fine. Keep breathing. Just a few more seconds. Move your hands and fingers around. And then bringing your right hand onto the mat. Press up and reaching the left arm out. And bring it back in. Reach the right arm out to the side, coming into a thread the needle. And once you're settled, decide what you're going to Taking just a few more breaths. And placing your left hand to the ground, coming all the way up, reaching the right arm out and placing it back down. Get your wrists nice and comfortable. Once again, stretch the right leg back. And this time, bring your leg up and hold it there. So you already have the lower abs connecting. But now flex your foot and just take an opportunity here to really wake up the gluteus maximus. And now point your toe, round your spine, bringing forehead to knee. Stretch your leg back. Reach through your crown, stay there, and flex your foot. Gluteus maximus, lower abs. Point your toe, round your spine, draw knee to nose. Extend back, hold for a moment, and flex the foot. And we're going to do one more time. Point, round the spine, lifting up through the belly button. Extend long and back. Flex your foot now, stay here. You're going to externally rotate that right hip, but you're not rolling the pelvis. You're just turning the knee and the toe, and then you bring it back to parallel. And again, externally rotate. And center, two more. And center, one more time, externally rotate, and let's do 5 little lifts. Last one. Rotate parallel, point your toe, bringing your knee all the way in. Round your spine, pat. Press backwards. Take the weight off your wrists, and then once again push up onto the tips of the fingers. Relaxing the back of your neck. Just giving yourself a little reprieve of weight bearing on the wrists. And then place hands flat, come forward, and lengthen the spine. Extending the left leg back. Bringing your leg up. Flex the foot. Gluteus maximus connection. Point your toes round your spine. Knee to nose. Lengthen away. And flex the foot. Energy through the heel of the foot. Point your toe. Round. Extend long. And flex the foot. And again, point. Round the spine. This is your last one. Lengthen. Flex the foot. Hold it there. Stabilize your pelvis. And do a little bit of external rotation at the hip. And then release your leg back to parallel. And again, a little bit of external rotation and parallel. You should feel the bum working quite hard here. One more time. External rotation. Now stay here. Tiny lifts. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And back to parallel. Point the toe. Bringing the knees in. Cat stretch. Sit back halfway. Press up onto the tips of the fingers. And then placing the hands down. downward facing dog. So pressing your hips up and back. Do that little pedaling of the heels just to release the calf muscles. And this should feel quite easy on the wrists now because we've moved the shoulders quite far back. Press both heels down. Bend your knees if you need to. And now just pivot your leg a little bit. Point the toe and then bring that knee in towards the right wrist. Pivot your foot across and then just slide yourself back. So remember guys, as we go into this gluteal stretch, this is called the pigeon pose. If you need to put a block or support underneath the right bum, do so. Your knee has to be comfortable. If there's pain in your knee, then you have to adjust the position somehow. And then walk yourself down and you can put another support under your head or you can stack your hands. And then just let yourself settle all the way down as relaxed as possible. And we're going to be here for a while, so make any final adjustments that you need. And then start to connect into your breath. And part of this series that I mentioned as well is about connecting into our resilience. And this is part of it, is just noticing that as soon as we go into an uncomfortable position like this, we start to immediately have a conversation with ourselves and we want to pull back. We don't want to have this uncomfortable experience. And it's quite amazing how your breath can help you with this. So just experiment with it. Just notice the discomfort that you have. And then notice how if you focus on each inhale and each exhale, it's actually okay for you to be there. This is all part of our resilience. Allow yourself to soften a little bit more. We're going to take one more breath in and out. And then take your time, don't rush, as you make your way back up onto your hands. So just firmly root into your hands here. Tuck your back toes under, and then push into your hands and just lift yourself up. Slowly slide the right leg back, and then just move yourself back into your downward facing dog. Do those pedaling of the heels if you need. And then once again, just reach your heels for the ground. And now we're going to do the left leg. Bring the left leg up a little bit. And then bring your knee towards your wrist. Swing your foot diagonally across. And then just let yourself sort of slide back. And what I often notice is my left side feels completely different to my right side. I always feel like I need to lean a little bit towards that left hip. So play with it, explore it, and see where your body needs to go. Bringing yourself down into a sleeping pigeon. Make sure that there's no pain anywhere. And then just start to connect into your breathing. And notice the point when your conversation with yourself starts to take over, or maybe when you feel the need to fidget or to move away. And can you just stay there for one more breath in and out even? Allow your breath to be the thread that takes you through the discomfort. Keep softening into the stretch. Taking one more deep breath in and out. Slowly make your way up onto your hands. So after you've been in a very deep stretch, you definitely don't want to rush out of it. Tuck your back toes, push into your hands, and just take your weight off that front leg. And then slide back, stepping into your downward facing dog. Reach both heels towards the ground. And then let both knees come towards the floor. Open your knees nice and wide, big toes together. Sit your hips back. And then bring the palms of your hands together to touch. And bend your elbows to start placing your hands behind your head and neck. Stay here for just a few moments. Reaching both hands forward. Separate your arms. Draw yourself up onto all fours. And we haven't done this one for a while. Tuck your toes under, and you're just going to hover your knees off the ground again. And now move your left hand to the middle of your mat under your face. Pivot your feet, your knees, your pelvis, and then see if you can balance on that left hand and reach that right arm up. So we're finding the connections into that lateral line of the body. And then on your next breath, just allow your knees to come down, moving your hips all the way down, and stay here for a moment. You're going to lower yourself onto your elbow. Take your hand onto the shelf of your hip. Now you have to stay supportive on the underside of your body. And take your top leg and extend it all the way out long. So you're trying to get your legs kind of horizontal to the floor. And then squeeze your bum cheeks and see if you can take your leg a little bit behind you without arching the lower back. So remember the ab connection that we were practicing? Now flex your foot and then hinge your leg forward from the hip. And when you bring your leg forward, you're not allowed to round your spine like this. You've got to be able to keep the length of your spine. So abs, core connection. Point your toe and then hinge your leg back. Can you keep the height of your leg consistent? Flex your foot and hinge forward. And by the way, if you're taking strain in the neck, look down. Easy solution. Point. Hinge the leg back. Flex. Hinge the leg forward. Point. Hinge the leg back. And we're going to do one last one. Flex. Hinge the leg forward. Keep pushing out of the arm. Point. And then bring your leg just in line with your body. Hold it there. And then bend the knee. So you can split your feet so your right leg comes in front. Open up the right arm. Look all the way back. And then exhale. And coming into a thread needle. And remember this time, you might need to adjust your knees and your hips. See if you can get your forearms to the ground. And then just let your head relax completely. So it's quite an intense thread the needle. We're kind of forcing movement because both forearms are down, but we do have a little bit of leeway with the placement of the pelvis and the legs. Take another breath. Exhale. unfold, coming all the way up, and then fingertips push onto the ground as you come up onto your left hand again. Point the fingers away from you, squeeze your inner thighs, and see if you can bring hips, knees, up you come, find that lateral line of your body again, and now pivot so you come onto your hands again, and then lower your knees towards the ground, releasing your feet out, round your spine like a cat, and then sit back halfway, hold it here, and if you want to do the little trampolining movements, go for it. One more. Come all the way to center, and then lengthen your spine out. So I'm turning so that I'm not going to have my back to you, but we're going to do the other side now. So tuck your toes under, lift your knees just up off the mat. Now bring your right hand underneath you and pivot so that you can balance and reach that top arm up. Find the underside of your body, the lateral line, and then with control, let your knees and your hips come all the way down, and then lower yourself onto your forearm. Hand onto the shelf of your pelvis, connect the underneath oblique, and the top leg extends out. Start squeezing your bum and taking your leg behind you. And then flex your foot and hinge from the hip. Point, sweep your leg back. Keep your leg parallel to the floor. Flex and hinge forward. Point and bring the leg back. So this movement forwards and backwards is using hip flexors when we come forward. It's using gluteus maximus when we come back. But can you feel that it's using that gluteus medius muscle that we woke up in that standing exercise as well? So hopefully our brains are starting to recognize all those connections. Keep lifting through the oblique. Flex one more time. Point, bring it back, hold it for a moment, and then bend the knees in. You can split the feet so the left foot is in front, left arm comes up and back, open up across the chest, and then exhale and coming into a thread in your. Relax the back of your neck. Making any adjustments you need for your own body. Taking a nice easy inhale. And then exhale. Release, unwind, and pressing all the way up. But this time we're not going to go up onto the side. Just pivot onto your bum cheeks. So you're going to have your knees bent, separate the feet slightly, arms lengthen out. On your breath, curl back. So we're going to see if we can roll all the way back onto the floor with control. If you need to help yourself with your arms, then do so. If you need any kind of prop underneath your lower back, do so. Reaching overhead, circle your arms around, lift your head up, and come all the way up into sitting, lifting tall. And again, using your breath. Reach back. Big circle. And sit up tall. Taking two more. Draw your tail under. And on this last one, we're going to stay on our backs. Big circle all the way around, and let your arms relax beside you. Bring your feet a little closer in. So keeping your legs in parallel, we're going to do 3 pelvic curls. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, tilting hips. Rolling up into a bridge position. See if you can find the gluteal connection right away. Lower out. Remember that pattern we were talking about, the connections. And then start to ripple down through your spine. Just allow your breath to carry you down. 2 more times. Squeezing into the gluteus. And exhale. We're going to do one more time here. Nice, easy, parallel position. And then work your way through your spine, keeping all 10 toes connected to the ground, and release at the bottom. Now just connect your heels together. The toes stay where they are, but don't roll onto the blades of the feet. You still want to have your feet flat. If you look at your knees, they're in a diamond shape, and you have external rotation at the pelvis. Let's do the pelvic curl from here. On your breath. And just notice if your gluteals are having a chance to work more. Mine definitely do switch on more when I'm working in this V position or the external rotation. And releasing down. And again, exhale, tilt. Rolling up. Keep squeezing the heels of the feet together. Stay there for a moment. Take a breath in. And then exhale down. One more time. And tilting hips. Pause at the top for a moment. Soften into the back of the neck if you can. And then work your way down through your spine. And release. Separate the heels. Now remember that little prop that you had before? Take it again. Put it between your knees and your thighs again. And now we're going to do the pelvic curl with the prop between the knees. Inhale. Using your breath, rolling up into a bridge position. And at the top, stay here. You still want the gluteals working. But can you guys notice with the inner thigh connection that the hamstrings at the back of the thigh are probably working a bit harder. So that's normal, by the way. And exhale down. And the reason being that those muscles all connect together to the inner thigh. So this is a great way to also strengthen the hamstrings along with the inner thighs. Hold at the top, take a breath, and ripple down through the spine. Let's do one more time. Breathe in. Exhale, tilt. Stay here for a moment. And then you get to work your way down through the spine. And release. Take the block out. Hug both knees in towards your chest. And maybe do just a little bit of a rocking action from side to side for a second. And come back to the center. Put your hands behind your thighs, flexing the ankles. Exhale as you stretch the hamstrings. They probably need a bit of a stretch after that last set. And release. Let's take 2 more. And release. 1 more time. And release. Now keeping your legs tucked in nice and tight. Squeeze your legs together. Take your hands and interlace them just behind your head. So you're probably going to feel that your back is in an angle because your knees are pulled in. So it should feel quite secure for your back. We're going to just do a couple of chest lifts. So nod your chin. On your breath, slide your ribs towards your pelvis, no pulling on your head. And then releasing back down. We're going to do 3 more. And releasing back. Last 2. And release. Last 1. And taking yourself all the way back. Let the elbows relax for a moment. Now we're going to do another chest lift. We're going to stay there and then we're going to add in the lower abdominal. So it's a bit of a nasty one, but it's a great one for, again, strengthening around the pelvis and the core, which is our focus for today. So elbows floating. On your breath, curl head and shoulders forward. Now guys, you need to stay here. Keep the upper abs connected. And then as you breathe out, roll your knees towards your nose so you can feel that maybe your tailbone and sacrum come up. And then just let your knees come a little bit away. Stay lifted to the chest. Breathe out. And release. It's got to be controlled. Try not to use momentum. 2 more. And 1 more time. And release. Lower head and shoulders all the way down. And place your hands just on top of your knees. So 1 hand on top of each knee. And just start to stir the clouds. Mobilizing into the hip socket. Make sure that your lower back feels good. Change direction, circle the other way. And just for me as well, after I've done any kind of inner thigh work, like squeezing that block, I can feel quite a nice release into my inner thighs when I do this. And then bring your legs to center. Hook your hands behind your thighs. Tuck your chin and round your spine so you're in a ball shape. And then use your feet to start kicking. So you're rolling on your spine, using your legs to help you with momentum. And then if you reach a point where you feel you don't need to kick your feet anymore, you just tuck your feet in nice and tight. 2 more. 1 more. And hold it. Just find balance for a moment and placing your feet all the way down. Please come up into a standing position. I'm just going to turn to face towards you. You can stand wherever you feel comfortable. Big toes in line with each other. Take a moment to roll the shoulders back and around. Maybe bend and straighten the knees a few times. Watching the tracking of your knees. And then just center yourself, placing your right hand to the center of your heart space, placing your left hand just over your lower belly. And once again, close your eyes gently. And bring your awareness to your breath. full inhale and lengthened exhale. Feeling your breath moving underneath your hands. Allowing your eyes to soften, releasing any tension around your forehead, your cheeks, your jaw, your tongue. Notice your heart beating underneath your right hand. And become aware of your physical body in space. Allow your feet to root and to ground you. Allowing your head to float up towards the clouds. And just observing your energy, how you feel. Let your physical body, your energy, and your breath melt together. Taking one deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth and sigh. Let your eyes open slowly, blinking. Bringing your hands down, one deep inhale, reaching all the way up. And on your breath out, open your arms wide. Roll your shoulders back and around. Beautiful job, you guys. Let me just grab my glasses so I can see all of you. All right, guys, how is everyone feeling? All good?
Brilliant.
Fantastic. And you felt okay with all of the gluteal work that we did, the inner thigh?
Hard.
Yeah.
But good.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Thank you, Renee.
You guys
Renee,
you are very, very welcome. Let me just unpin my video if anybody has any questions. And then just a reminder, so I will send this to everyone with a reminder. So all the stuff that we've been adding into our detox, hopefully you're continuing with some of it. Then just for today and hopefully for the next few days, 5 minutes, so 10 minutes total during the day, just of that conscious breath. Okay, and you can even do it sort of before you go to bed even. It's a great way to help you go to sleep as well. So just focusing on each inhale, each exhale. And, you know, you might actually be surprised. 5 minutes, you know, sounds maybe like it's a long time just to do nothing except breathe, but you might find you actually go over that time.
Yeah.
And
that's what I was going to ask you about that. You know, when you say you count to 10, do you breathe in for a count of 10 and then out for a count of 10, or do you breathe in for? That's what confuses me a little bit. I'm just
no, listen, that's an excellent question. So the only reason that we tie any counting pattern to the breath is it's the easiest way to keep people from getting distracted by, you know, what am I making for lunch?
Yeah.
You know, what's happening in this TV show. So counting itself is literally just giving you something.
Will you give Goldie lunch?
Yeah, so exactly, what's for lunch? So what I do is an inhale for 1, and then exhale on the count of 2.
Right.
Inhale
Yeah.
on the count of 3. Yeah, and then you just go up to 10, and then you go back to 1.
Yeah. That's good. That makes sense. I was like, no, can't be right. That I'm
No.
it wrong.
It would be quite a challenge to like do a full inhale to 10. Fabulous, guys. Have a beautiful Tuesday, and then I'll see everyone tomorrow.
Wonderful. Thank you, Renee.
Renee.
Thanks,
Wonderful class.